Juan-o's world.
My baby mama trippin', she been going through my phone. Tired of me cheating, I can't leave these hoes alone. Hella pics, hella tips on my cash out. It's like, hold up a minute every time that I'm in it. Got the whole room spinning, can't explain how I'm feeling all day. I've been sipping, do you love? Over the past 10, 15 years, drill music has kind of taken over. And it's New York drill, UK drill. The birthplace of it got to be Chicago. And naturally, we would say it started with Chief Keef. Or maybe it was Lil JoJo. For sure, that was the first public casualty we all seen of drill music. You know, now in Detroit, everybody music gets a chance. Lil JoJo was just starting to get some burn before they took him down. And that really introduced drill rap to me, shall I say. But is that where drill rap started at? I don't think so. And as I was thumbing through my Rolodex, I found other things. No, it didn't start with FBG Duck. You'd be kind of surprised at where the first drill song came from. But let's get into it. So by my research, the first drill song ever created was by this guy right here, Blade Icewood. And it was going at some of these guys right here, the Eastside Cheddar Boys. And it was on this album right here, released before he died. Now, the funny thing about this is I heard this song before this date, but you see April 9th, 2005, that was the official release date. And he died not too long after, almost 10 days. Matter of fact, exactly 10 days. Now, they beef started over the name the Cheddar Boys. Now, Street Lords always been the Street Lords, but they was the Street Lord Cheddar Boys. Eastside was the Eastside Cheddar Boys. But the Eastside Cheddar Boys was having a little bit more motion as far as music goes than Blade and the Street Lords. But Blade and the Street Lords have been having motion for so long as just regular dudes that it really shouldn't have mattered, but it did. At first, it was just little comments going back and forth here and there in interviews where nobody outside of their crew knew what was going on. But then Blade and another gentleman had a stripper in common that they was both freaking on. And that other gentleman is this dude right here, Tough motherfucking Tone. And Tough Tone, who was doing business with Blade, didn't appreciate being spoken on by Blade to the young lady that they had in common. And that's where things took another notch turn up. At this time, Blade was a white dude, and he was serving in front of a lot of people. So Tough Tone took it upon himself to not pay Blade back for the product he had. And that right there took it to a whole nother level. When Blade dropped his Stackmaster album right here, it came with a DVD. And in the DVD, it was showing him moving around the hood on the west side, east side, whatever, getting his hair cut and whatnot. And he said a couple of things that might have caught a couple people's attention. Everybody didn't necessarily like what he said, not to mention Blade was from a good family and had been getting money in the streets since a teenager, one of the first dudes with a car with hydraulics in the city and whatnot. So it looked like he was talking down on people. A lot of people didn't like it, but what could they say about it? But what took this to the next level was Wipeout being killed. Now, it was a whole lot of reasons being speculated about why Wipeout was killed. Wipeout had a lot of young dudes around him. Some of them was hustlers, some of them was lick hitters, some of them was just all-out street niggas. And it was rumored that they had did some things to some people that didn't appreciate it, but those people couldn't lean on the young dudes because they was protected by Wipeout, so Wipeout ended up getting taken out. That's the speculation. But once the diss songs get to flying, now we're talking about disrespect. And it goes from there. Now I want you to pay very close attention to the date on this tombstone. Very close attention. Because right after this man was killed, say about 2 days later, some people, shall we say for right now, broke into Blade Icewood's house in Oak Park, shot him up a bunch of times, paralyzed him. If I'm not mistaken, it was 9/20/04, which was September 20th, 2 days after this man was killed. And the people rumored to have done that was none other than, you guessed it, Tough Tone from the Eastside Cheddar Boys and Drake Carter, who is another relative of Wipeout right here. Now, Drake Carter, known killer in the city of Detroit, known killer. Now, Juan-o is not exposed in the snitching because due to other people in the city going back and forth, a lot of this information has hit the internet over the past couple of years. I'm just putting this all in one place. Now, all these little things bring us back to where we started, which is what was the first drill track ever created? And I'm about to go and give it to you. Now, I know some of y'all may be wondering, why is he sitting there? What's going on with that? This is him in a wheelchair. Now, this is a clip of the video of him rapping the song, but they never made an actual video. But here we go. Rich boy, that's because his parents wasn't broke. But he still ended up in the street, so when people would be dissing him, they would be referring to the fact he had a decent upbringing. Whoa. Now, if that ain't drill rap, I don't know what is. And these is true stories now.
7 times for the cake, and still here to see another day. Damn, lucky play. Oh, dog, I ain't lying. Kids all on they rock chillin' every night the sunset. Blood, sweat, tears. He is a hard hustling, tussling. I'm just trying to sit up here with wrestling.
Big facts. Blade was getting looked at and offered a whole lot of deals that him and the rest of the street was that they was turning down because they already had Chili. And they was already making money off the rap. So offering somebody $1 million that's already sold 50,000 CDs at $10 a pop more than once, it's kind of disrespectful. But hey. Bums. The perception was the East Side guys who had got fronted wasn't that good dressers, so on and so forth. Not everybody from the East Side, but that's how he felt about these particular guys. Had to hit him with the bums. Talked about their man getting killed, him getting shot. All of this is verifiable through police records and actual incidents. Now the fact I don't know if you ever heard this original song, which was Young Buck, that came out a little bit before this, took the beat, gave it a whole different feel. Facts. And in that wheelchair, he was still out here. And he wasn't just still out here, he was still out here letting niggas know what it was. I don't know if he was 100% paralyzed or like he just lost the use of the bottom part of his legs, you know what I'm saying? But he was moving upper, as you can see in the video, you know what I'm saying? And sadly, he had a driver, allegedly a Chaldean that day, that could have been playing both sides, but we gonna leave that out. The whole hood wants me like my last CD, and just for the record, I'm blasting me. Should've never let me live, 7 shots couldn't do it. Now niggas making calls like they couldn't involve. Niggas wanna run the high till the beef is resolved. Oh fuck that, I'm killing all y'all. Now, I never heard a rap song like this where the things the rapper was saying was verifiable, you know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of stuff going on around in the city when that happened, you know what I'm saying? Some guys did leave, some guys did lay low, some guys a lot of things, because Blade didn't just have a father, he had an older brother as well that was already certified and in jail when these incidents went on. Not to mention, Blade had been getting money for a long ass time. They was getting a lot of money, so when you getting that much money, people offer to take care of stuff for you just to be in good graces with you. So, but that ain't to say the other side was just some hoe cakes. They might not have been getting the money that they was getting, but I ain't gonna say they was just some hoe cakes either. Obviously, they was not. Niggas kinda got me feeling like 50 and Box. The difference is I ain't dead or running from the bed. Every time my mama shed another 1,000 on your head to show your face, nigga think I'm playing. Active threat. Active threat, active bag. Ain't no rap shit, nigga. It's revenge with a pen. And if I see you say hello to my little friend, you claim to be cutthroat, bitch, nigga, you a custo. Fake motherfucker like MC Gusto. Anybody could be coaching to shoot you, little pussy. Now, that was one of the truest rap lyrics I ever heard. You know, we give a lot of people credit for doing dumb shit, but the fact of the matter is anybody could be coached in the shooting. Anybody could be scared enough in the shooting, but that don't mean they're willing to deal with what comes with it. That don't even make them that type of person. Could be the same thing. That can apply to Blade as well. But the point made is a good one. Now, they had to mix that one. Dick sucking East Side niggas, I'm a man. They had to cut that out. That was going a little too far. Bitch, nigga, bring it on. Got the chrome on my lap as we speak. I heard they wanna ride on me. Nigga, I ain't never scared. I'm at the club every night. I'm married. I heard they wanna ride on me. Bitch, nigga, bring it on. Got the chrome on my lap as we speak. I heard they wanna ride on me. Nigga, I ain't. Well, you see the feeling all in that. He was jumping up out the wheelchair. That's why I say I don't know if he was all the way paralyzed. Maybe like his waist and his hips and shit still work, but he was jumping all out the wheelchair. Never scared. I'm at the club every night. I'm married. Ever since I got shot, everybody wanna sign me. Police wanna catch me, but they can't find me. Icy ass necklace, 2 or 3 Rolexes. I'ma make sure the industry won't never forget us. Detroit, yeah, that's the city I claim. I'm on stage, 20,000 people screaming. Now he lying right there. I don't know if he rocked the show with 20,000 people yet, but whatever. My name, damn near died. 920 old folk, looking at my son's eyes while I'm bleeding on the floor. So you see, me and Ice would ain't that easy. We believe easy, us won't see. Now see, they had to cut shit out because he was talking too real. Easy, nigga, with that other nigga. I ain't saying no name. I was laughing at your little boss ass flame. I was going on the trumpets, banging sounds in the rain. Niggas always hate when you worth a little change, and I ain't that. And that's why I said it was the first drill song. He talked about him getting shot, people who he may have had killed or may have gotten killed, and what was going on.
addresses, locations. To me, this was the first drill rap song. And I ain't just saying this because I'm from Detroit. I'm saying this because I've been listening to rap a long time. And what drill music is now, the first time I heard something like that was with this dude. I don't know. I could be wrong. Y'all do y'all due diligence. Let me know if I know wrong. But R.I.P. Blade Icewood. Shout out to Lil Blade. Ain't none of this shit have to happen. But yet, it did. We out.
Oh, shit. Now, hold on. This is where the Blade Icewood story get a real confusion. Now, we've already established that Drake Carter and Tough Tones was the one that put Blade in the wheelchair. And no, Juan-o was not the first one to bring that information to the internet. But I'm putting it together today. Now, the person who ended up taking the life of Blade Icewood is this dude right here, Lil Larry. Now, Lil Larry being the dude that took Blade Icewood's life started a lot of shit. One, Lil Larry is from the same hood as Street Lord Juan. Now, when this beef first started, or before this beef started, Street Lord Juan had told Blade he shouldn't be fucking with the Cheddar Boy niggas. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not putting this on Street Lord Juan, but Street Lord Juan had already kind of looked at them as bums, which is where the comment came from. Now, with that being said, it's kind of hard to understand how Blade got shot by these two dudes, but then got killed by this other dude. Now, mind you, these two groups of people don't really mess with each other. Lil Larry is not a friend of Drake Carter. Not at all. Nor was he a friend of Tough Tone, from my understanding, but they both was aware with each other. Now, what possessed Blade to be in his wheelchair, going around to the barbershops and to this and to that, putting the word out that he was looking for Lil Larry and he was going to get him? That part of the game is something that I'm not familiar with. That part of the story is something that I don't understand. And believe it or not, I did reach out to Lil Larry for an interview. He texted me back 10. I didn't know if that meant he wanted 10 minutes, 10,000. I wasn't sure. But I would assume he was talking about 10,000. Now, Lil Larry done killed a couple dudes. Lil Larry done been locked up with people that was from Blade Icewood's crew. And the unofficial story is, one, Lil Larry is plugged in with the Moabites and the Muslims. So if you go at him, you're going to have a war. And two, Blade was antagonizing him. Blade had put it out there that he was going to get him. So with that being said, I guess at that point it's mano a mano. Sad story is Blade got the short end of the stick. Lil Larry didn't, but he ended up in jail anyway. And nobody really wins in these situations. So, all of you drill rappers, go back to the first drill song, which by my recollection is this one. All the real street dudes, all the real money getters, so on and so forth, all of this life lost for no other reason other than dumb shit. And it ain't got to necessarily be like that. Now, this song put the city in a frenzy. It was hot, it was hype, it was true. No matter what side of the town you was from or what you knew, you could put certain pieces together. It was all type of stuff throughout these matters. Now, being in Detroit, money get passed around, phone calls get made, things get settled before the police get to get a real investigation going on, which in some ways is a good thing. But at the same time, it's a horrible thing that we putting ourselves in these type of situations when everybody involved got at least 50,000 cash that they can touch. And 50,000 cash may not be a lot, but it's enough to buy you an option or an opportunity or a ticket to another place and get you started off somewhere else. Now, Lil Larry was busted down in Texas with the gun that he killed Blade with. But shit, they's looking for Lil Larry for some other murders. So technically, he never even got charged with the Blade murder. But obviously, this young man put in a whole lot of work. And I'm willing to bet all that work was for a whole lot of dumbass reasons. And with that being said, black men, man, choose better. Choose better for yourself, your people around you, and your future. Now look at the mug on this dude's face. From my understanding, this dude is in prison daring people to try and still a nut. Gotta respect it, whether we agree or don't like it or not. R.I.P. Blade Icewood, R.I.P. Wipeout. Shit, R.I.P. the whole movement that was going on in the city, because if this shit wouldn't have happened, they would have took Detroit to the next level back then. We out.